For number 1, it's asking us to state whether each pairs of triangles are congruent by side, 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 angle, 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 side, or hypotenuse leg. If none of these methods work, then write none. So looking at number 1, it gives us that these two segments are congruent. It gives us right angles. We know that if anything is a right angle, that means it's 90 degrees, so these are both 90 degrees. And 90 degrees is the same as 90 degrees, so that means that these two angles are congruent. That's also known as the right angle congruence theorem when you say that two right angles are congruent. Then from there, if we look, we see that this segment right here is part of this top triangle and is part of this bottom triangle. So because he's shared, his length is not going to change when he's part of this triangle or when he's part of this triangle down here. So that means if the lengths are going to stay consistent, that it is congruent to itself. So now, if I look, I've got two triangles. I've got a triangle down here and a triangle up here. It's not going to be angle, side, side, or side, side, angle. There's no donkeys in class. We don't talk badly to each other. But if I have a right triangle and I've got hypotenuses, which are the sides across from the right angle, congruent. Those are the hypotenuses. And one set of legs that are congruent, I can say these triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. For number 2, it already gives me one set of congruent angles and one set of congruent sides. Then from there, I've got to notice that I have a pair of vertical angles. We know that vertical angles will always be congruent. So now, I've got an angle, another angle, and a side. So angle, angle, side. Make sure that matches over here. Angle, angle, side. So we've got angle, angle, side congruence. For number 3, it only gives me one set of congruent angles. But I can also see that using the reflexive property, this segment is shared between the top triangle and the bottom triangle. So he's congruent to himself. From there, there's no other additional information that I can find by looking at my picture. Therefore, there's not enough information. Technically, these could be congruent triangles. I just don't have enough information to say that they definitely are. I only have one angle and one side, one angle and one side. I need at least 3 pieces of information to prove that they are congruent. For number 4, they give me one set of congruent angles and another set of congruent angles. So I've got 2 sets of congruent angles.